Southeast Asia, long a symbol of growth, vibrant culture, and regional cooperation, is now facing one of its most serious challenges in recent years. The region, known for its resilience and unity, now faces a dangerous test that threatens to unravel years of progress. Tensions between Thailand and Cambodia have flared dramatically over the ancient Preah Vihear Temple, a UNESCO World Heritage Site perched on a disputed border. This centuries-old monument has become the latest flashpoint, reigniting old grievances and stirring up deep-seated national pride on both sides. Nationalist rhetoric from both governments is fueling the crisis, with leaders on each side making strong statements that make compromise seem almost impossible. Political rallies and speeches have only added to the charged atmosphere as citizens rally behind their respective governments. Military incidents along the border have escalated in recent weeks, with troops and heavy equipment amassing on both sides. Skirmishes and tense standoffs have become more frequent, raising fears of a larger conflict erupting at any moment. This cycle of mistrust and provocation threatens to spiral out of control, putting not just the two countries but the entire region on edge. Local villagers live in fear, uncertain of what tomorrow may bring. ASEAN, the regional bloc designed to promote peace and stability, is struggling to mediate. Its non-interference policy limits its ability to intervene directly, leaving member states frustrated and searching for solutions. Despite calls for calm from community leaders and international observers, tensions remain high. Efforts to de-escalate the situation have so far done little to ease the standoff, and the risk of a wider conflict is growing with each passing day. The international community, especially the United States, is watching closely. There is growing concern about the impact this crisis could have on global trade, regional security, and diplomatic relations. Instability in this region could disrupt vital shipping lanes and supply chains that connect Southeast Asia to the rest of the world, threatening economic stability far beyond the immediate area. The inability of local powers to resolve the crisis has created a dangerous diplomatic vacuum, leaving the door open for outside influence and intervention. This vacuum is now drawing Washington back into Southeast Asia, signaling a major shift in U.S. foreign policy and raising questions about the future balance of power in the region. In a bold and highly visible move, U.S. F-16 fighter jets have landed on Philippine soil, marking a significant moment in the region's military landscape. Their arrival at Cesar Basa Air Base in the Philippines is not just a routine deployment, it's a clear demonstration of American military reach and capability in Southeast Asia. This marks the largest American military deployment to the country in over 2 decades, signaling a renewed and robust commitment to regional stability and defense cooperation. The timing of this deployment is no coincidence. It comes as tensions flare during the Thailand-Cambodia crisis, adding urgency and weight to the U.S. presence. The F-16s serve as a powerful symbol of the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, providing reassurance to Manila and sending a strong warning to any potential aggressors in the region. For the Philippines, hosting these advanced jets is a major step in rebuilding trust and deepening military ties with Washington after years of uncertainty. Cesar Basa's strategic location, just a short flight from the contested South China Sea, allows the U.S. to project power, conduct surveillance, and respond rapidly to any developments across the region. Ongoing upgrades to the base, funded and supported by the U.S., underscore a long-term commitment to Philippine security and the broader stability of Southeast Asia. The deployment has already shifted the regional conversation, prompting neighboring countries to reconsider their own defense strategies and alliances in light of the new American presence. While some view the U.S. presence as a stabilizing force that deters aggression, others worry it could escalate tensions and draw the region into broader conflicts. Regardless of perspective, the arrival of the F-16s makes it clear that the old regional dynamics are shifting, and a new era of military engagement is underway. The United States is firmly back in Southeast Asia, and the world is watching closely as the balance of power evolves. With tensions simmering and the stakes for peace and security higher than ever, the presence of U.S. F-16s in the Philippines could shape the future of the entire region. The recent deployment of F-16 fighter jets to the Philippines is a textbook case of what experts call soft deterrence, a modern approach to maintaining peace and stability in a tense region. Instead of threatening open conflict or escalating tensions, soft deterrence works by quietly raising the risks and costs of any potential act of aggression. This encourages caution among rivals and opens the door for dialogue and diplomacy to take the lead. The presence of these advanced jets isn't about preparing for an attack. Rather, it's a visible signal of U.S. resolve, demonstrating both military capability and a willingness to stand by its allies. Joint exercises with the Philippine Air Force go beyond just training. They build mutual trust, enhance cooperation, and show that America's commitment to the region is genuine and enduring. For smaller Southeast Asian nations, this approach is reassuring. It gives them the confidence to assert their own interests, knowing they are not alone in facing regional challenges. In a region where countries must carefully balance relationships with both the US and China, soft deterrence offers a path to stability. It allows nations to avoid being forced into hard choices or alliances, while still maintaining their sovereignty. By investing in modernizing bases and providing advanced training, the US sends a clear message. It is committed to a long-term presence and partnership in Southeast Asia. This strategy helps prevent misunderstandings and miscalculations that could lead to conflict, giving diplomacy the space and time it needs to succeed. In a volatile environment, soft deterrence acts as a stabilizing force, reducing the likelihood of sudden escalations and promoting a sense of security. By shaping the security landscape in this way, soft deterrence discourages aggression without the need for direct confrontation or provocation. The underlying message is clear. Peace is best preserved when all sides understand that the costs of conflict are simply too high to bear. In today's Southeast Asia, where tensions can flare quickly, that message of peace and stability is more important than ever before. For the Philippines, welcoming US F-16s marks a pivotal shift in defense policy. After decades of distancing from the US, Manila now sees its alliance as essential amid rising regional instability. The Philippines' strategic location at the crossroads of major sea lanes makes it a key player in regional security. By hosting US forces, the country leverages its geography for greater influence and protection. Joint exercises with the US are modernizing the Philippine military, boosting its ability to defend maritime territory. This partnership is about building a credible defense, not returning to old dependencies. Still, Manila must address domestic concerns about sovereignty and ensure the alliance is seen as a partnership of equals. Success depends on building national consensus and communicating the benefits of this strategic pivot. The Philippines is stepping up as an active player in shaping the region's future. The Thailand-Cambodia crisis exposes ASEAN's core weakness, its non-interference principle. While this approach built trust and economic growth, it now hinders decisive action in security crises. ASEAN's response has been limited to calls for restraint, lacking real power to enforce peace. The organization's inability to resolve the conflict has pushed members like the Philippines to seek security outside ASEAN. This dynamic risks weakening ASEAN's unity and relevance. The group faces a crossroads: remain a diplomatic forum, or evolve to address hard security challenges. Without reform, ASEAN could lose influence to individual nations and their external allies. The future of regional security may depend on ASEAN's willingness to adapt. The stakes for unity and independence have never been clearer. The US F-16s in the Philippines have sent shockwaves across the Indo-Pacific. China sees the move as a direct challenge, likely responding with increased military activity near the South China Sea. Vietnam quietly welcomes the US presence as a counterbalance to China, while Singapore views it as stabilizing. Indonesia, wary of undermining ASEAN unity, urges restraint and diplomacy. Each country is recalibrating its strategy, weighing risks and opportunities. The deployment has exposed regional fault lines, especially the US-China rivalry. No single view prevails. Every nation is reassessing its alliances and interests. The region's stability now hinges on how these shifting relationships are managed. The new security landscape is more complex and more precarious than ever. The Philippines faces a delicate balancing act. Strengthening its US alliance boosts security, but Manila must also reassure ASEAN partners of its commitment to regional unity. Transparent communication is key. Joint exercises are for defense, not aggression. If managed well, the Philippines can be both a strong US ally and a leading ASEAN member. Missteps could create divisions which China may exploit to weaken US influence. But success could make the Philippines a model for balancing great power ties and regional cooperation. By modernizing its military and building trust, Manila can enhance its leadership in ASEAN. The challenge is real, but so is the opportunity for greater influence. The world is watching how the Philippines navigates this new role. Joint U.S.-Philippine military exercises are vital for building trust and readiness. These drills turn alliances into real partnerships, demonstrating unity and deterrence. For the Philippines, they boost confidence and defense capabilities. But exercises can also provoke rivals. China may respond with its own shows of force, raising tensions. The risk of miscalculation grows as military activity increases. Careful planning and clear communication are essential to avoid escalation. Exercises should be defensive and transparent to prevent misunderstandings. The line between deterrence and provocation is thin. The challenge: strengthen the alliance without triggering an arms race. Security cooperation must be smart, measured, and focused on peace. In Southeast Asia, even small disputes can spark major crises. The Thailand-Cambodia conflict shows how local tensions can draw in global powers and shift regional dynamics. The region is a tinderbox. One spark can ignite widespread instability. ASEAN's limitations have forced countries to seek outside security, bringing new risks and rivalries. The US F-16 deployment, meant to restore balance, also raises new challenges with China. Every dispute, no matter how minor, must be managed with care and diplomacy. The interconnected region means one conflict affects all, threatening trade and prosperity. The cost of inaction or miscalculation is high. Leaders must act decisively and communicate clearly to prevent escalation. The choices made now will shape Southeast Asia's future for decades. In a volatile world, preventing small sparks from becoming wildfires is the region's greatest challenge.